Sorry about that, fellas. For some reason, my computer had a blue screen of death, and I am going to have it repaired sooner or later. So, yeah, let me have someone who can watch my stream and just tell me if it is working as intended. Of course, it is me. All right. Signing into Google. This is beyond stupid. But who am I to say that? Can't find an eligible device. Use your passkey. Okay. I don't have any of them. Try another way. Anyways, let let me just go ahead and share the link with everyone else. This is better. So let's just share that on my post. All right, all done. Now let's go back to Studio Code. And let's change the screen. All right, so let's start using this. Uh, the blue screen of death happened due to running and starting the emulator. Let's see what happens this time. Always on top done. Oh, it's not. Now it's done. I slightly raised my audio for the sake of others to be able to listen to me. So, uh, wait. Yeah, it's clear. Gotcha, thanks. For everything. Must be best. Uh, check my output. Let's just reduce that to, I think 6,000 is more than enough. So B frames, good. I think that feature is known as enhanced broadcast, but it's exclusive to, yeah. So last time we were able to render this sprite for the TNT barrel, and if you were to tap on it, it will increase the size by or decrease it. So let's try distributing again. Hot reload. Okay, yeah. If I click on the barrel, it will decrease the size. So let's just hot restart. It will restart the application and everything will be reset. Yep, as you can see that. So now back to the documentation for Flame. I was going to learn more about the components and the asset structure first, or the game class. So it will lag a bit because OBS Studio needs a good CPU for doing most of its things. Okay, so the base of almost Flame games is the Flame game class. This is the root of your component tree. We refer to this component-based system as the Flame component system. Throughout the documentation, FCS is used to reference the system. Yeah, I think I was here. So note that the background color cannot change dynamically while the game is running, but you could just draw a background with that covers the whole canvas if you want to change it dynamically. So rather than let's write the whole new code class my game extends flame game, and we were just overriding the background color of this whole canvas. Note that this barrel will disappear, and this parameter is known as uh where was it? I think the word, oh sorry, my game. It will now let's just override the background color, background color, black. It will not change anything because it's the game itself. Okay, it's black. Let's change it to, for example, white. Wow, it's white now. So what is single game instance mixin? An optional mixin single game instance can be applied to your game if you're making a single game application. Okay. This is a common scenario when building games. There is a single screen, full screen game widget that hosts a single game instance. Adding this mixin provides performance advantages in certain scenarios. In particular, a component's onload method is guaranteed to start when that component is added to its parent, even if the parent is not mounted itself. Consequently, a waiting on parent.add component is guaranteed to always finish loading the component. Hmm. Well, I don't really get it what it meant. So single game instance and nothing. Probably if we were to make a game manager, then that's when we will be using this, maybe. But it's entirely optional, so we don't have to worry about it, it seems. Let's take a look on in charts as well. What will be the low level API? Abstract class, normal class. Okay, these are normal classes, and this one is an abstract class. So if we extend this, we can want with whatever. The abstract game class is a low-level API that can be used when you want to implement the functionality of the how the game engine should be structured. Game does not implement any update or render function, for example. Okay. The class also has the life cycle methods onload, onmount, and onRemove in it, okay, which are called from the game widget or another parent. When the game is loaded, plus mounted or removed, onload is also is only called the first time in the class is added to a parent. But onmount, which is called after onload, is called every time it is needed to a new parent. OnRemove is called when the class is removed from a parent. The game class allows for more freedom of how to implement things, but you are also missing out on all of the built-in features in Flame if you use it. Ah, I see. Yes. So that means there are some of the exclusive features that is not available in the game class. So it's while it allows you some low level game development, but at the same time it has its own limitations. Fair? Could be okay, so first let's see this. This is a render class that will be that render function where we will be rendering stuff and update the traditional update method. This will be the delta time parameter and the same old void main function. So now we will be studying about pause, resuming, stepping game execution. A Flame game can be paused and resumed in two ways with the use of the pause engine and resume engine methods. Okay, by changing the pause attribute. When pausing a game, the game loop is effectively paused, fair, meaning that no updates or new renders will happen until it is resumed. While the game is paused, it is possible to advance frame by frame using the step engine method. Okay, basically, in Unity, in the editor, when we start our game, there are two different buttons. One is for stopping the execution, or the other one is to step frame. Basically, move one frame, right? And when we press on the play button, there's also a pause button. So a total of three buttons are there when we play our game. At the same time, yeah, step method, engine method. It might not be much useful in the final game, but can be very helpful in expecting game state step by step during this development cycle. Yeah, that's what I meant actually. Like for example, if we were to change see when a character jumps, we want some text to update. So we would like to see if whether if that character is going to land on the ground. That's when we would want to increase the counter, right? So we will see that the counter should only increase the count when the player is has landed on the ground after jumping. So that's when such type of scenarios in such type of scenarios the step engine method will help us. Excuse me. uh, Now backgrounding. The game will be automatically paused when the app is sent to the background and resumed when it comes back to the foreground. This behavior can be disabled by setting pause when backgrounded to false. Okay, it is pretty much straightforward that the game will automatically be paused when the app is set to sent to the background and resumed when it's back to the foreground. Like for example, if you press the home button on your phones and sort of minimize your game, the game will be paused. This is the pause when the game is in background or always play in background function, something like that. On the current Flutter stable, this flag is effectively ignored on non-mobile platforms, including the web. So this flag is not going to work for the Windows and web, but not on. this is exclusively for mobile phones, like on iOS and Android. So the next one is has performance tracker mixin. While optimizing a game, it can be useful to track and help in detecting areas of the code that are running hot. Running hot means that have unnecessary callbacks, or it is just taking too much time or causing performance issues. It can also help in detecting visual areas of the game that are taking the most time to render. To get the update and render times, just add the has performance tracker mixed into the game class. Okay, fair. It will give us these getters known as update time and render time. Like sometimes it takes a lot of time to render most of the game objects in a game scene. So in order to figure out, we mostly do profiling. So this will allow some sort of profiling in that case, and it will give us the necessary time to check what really is going on, which game object probably is, or just this is just the stats for the game. That's what I think. I won't know until I use it. So let's just move on ahead. I really would like to do some examples, but I'm not sure which one will be done good. Again, once I'm at the part where I will be doing proper inputs like swipe, then and doing some player movement and play controller script, then some that would be helpful, I guess. I will check these methods there. Uh, Give me one moment. I really would like to have some water. I will just write a text. Let's do it center, and let's move my microphone. Sorry for the wait, guys. I was really thirsty. So, assets directory structure. Flutter has a proposed structure for your project that includes the standard Flutter assets directory in addition to some children, audio, images, and tiles. Okay. If you're if you're using the following example code, so okay, this is giving me this fare and pops back YAML. That's that is going to happen. If you want to change the structure, this is possible by using the prefix parameter and creating your instances of assets cache, images, and audio cache instead of using the global ones provided by the Flame. Additionally, assets cache and images can receive a custom bundle. This can be used to make Flame look for assets in different location other than the root bundle, like the file system, for example. Let's check it out. Okay, it's the asset bundle class. Fair. Let's move on to the components. So this is the component class. It has a timer component, particle, sprite, batch, fetch. See the fetch section, okay? Position component, claim game. It is inherited from game, child class of game. Okay. And in position component, we have sprite component, sprite group component, sprite animation component, sprite animation group component, parallax component. Parallax probably, if we see in parallax backgrounds in games, in 2D games, mostly platformer. Isometric tile map component. Isometric, if you have played games like Mega Man Battle Network or that is those games probably are isometric. So yeah, the buildings there give us the feeling of 3D, but in reality they are all 2D. HUD margin component, HUD button component, joystick component. Okay, so this is related to the input system. Button component, custom painter, shape, sprite button, text, text box, 9 tile box. Okay. All the components inherited from the inherit component class. I can have other components as children. This is the base of what we call the Flame Component System, or FCS for short. Children can either be added with add method or directly in the constructor. Okay, let's see. Hmm, fair. The component here could be any class of component. Every component has a few methods that you can optionally implement, which are used by the Flame Game class. The component lifecycle. Okay, onload, on game resize, on mount, update, render, if removed, on remove, if reparented, on game resize method is called again. So these three methods are runs on add and resize, and onload is runs only for once. It runs each ticks means basically runs each frame. Yeah, this following description tells us the same thing. What I'm really interested in is the on mount method. The on mount method runs every time when the component is mounted in a game tree. This means that you should not initialize late final variables here. Fair. So since this method might run several times throughout the component's lifetime, this method will only run if the parent is already mounted. If the parent is not mounted yet, then this method will wait in a queue. This will have no effect on the rest of the game engine. Hmm. Let's move on to the inputs. We were doing tap events. So when holding on the screen, it will be registered as a long tap. So it's known as long tap in this game, in this engine. Uh, like for example, if in our previous code, I really would like to do something like this. Like if I press on the barrel, I would like it to increase its size. So let's just go ahead and do that. On tap up, let's reduce its size by 50. But on long tap down, not just tap, I guess I will have to do this. Delete, delete. On long tap, that was the name of the function. Yeah, on long tap down. And let's make it like 30. I will have to hot restart it because now it's a world class. Yep, it's back. So let's try. Okay, so when I let go, it decreases the size. So let's not do that. How about we save the initial size of the sprite dot original size. What? Okay, so original size cannot be because it could be nullable. Well, I am aware of it. Source size? No. How do we get the initial size? Scale? Sprite dot scale. Or let's just say it's 1. What's the type? Vector 2, 2 dot, all. Let's do it 1. Or let's do it 100. Or restart. This will whenever it's done loading. See? That's why I had to hard restart. So let's just do it 300. Okay. Now on long tap down, why not let's just reduce the size of it because it's already too large and I don't want it to go outside of the bounds. On long tap, it's decreasing the size, but not continuously because I'm not doing it on the update method. So on long tap down is fine. On tap up, I want the size to be back to the original size. Why not just go ahead and do that? Let's create final vector 2, image size, nothing. So we going to do this image size. Let's resolve this error because it's a fill. Well, it's not really needed because it's final. Let's do it final. And let's do this image size. We have an error. It needs something. Let's why not rather than doing this, let's just not go down this path. It's not needed. We can just use the local variable. Let's just use this size again. So on when I let go, it resets the size. Okay, so that's what it does. It so what is on tap cancel? This even occurs when the tap fails to materialize. Most often, this will happen if the user moves their finger, which converts a gesture from tap to drag. Yeah, that means when I press and hold, and I realize that I don't need to press this button, and I just don't release my finger and drag it. The app basically realizes that this is an on tap cancel. The user wants to cancel the tap. So that's what this event is all about. So let's do it like this. On tap cancel. Why not let's just print it or screen that the tap is canceled. Or if kdebug mode, let's do it. Print. It's giving me Spanish. Okay. Is it Spanish or Italian? If anyone is watching this, then please do tell me. Uh, Tab cancelled. Let's see what if it's. Yep. When it changed into a drag, it automatically realizes that the user wants to cancel the tab. If we use this method, or if we override this method and add some sort of functionality, then this method will be called. So let's do this. On tap cancel, we just want the size to be returned normally. See? And if I press this like this, but on drag, on tap cancel, it does that. These are the mixins that we used. We already know about the tap callbacks that allow such methods. So it also has some of these contains local point on tap down, on tap up, on tap cancel, and render. So just give me a moment. My glass of water is here. I would really would like to drink some water now. All right. So I have about 10 minutes max, and let's focus on other things. So similarly, we have double tap callbacks and migration. If you have an existing game that uses tappable, draggable mixins, then this section will describe how to transition to a new API. So okay, this is something that I can focus on later at some point. Um, focusing on drag events. Let's try dragging the elements now. One moment, please. On a sorry. On a second thought, I don't have much time left, so I have to leave, unfortunately. So we learned about the game widget, the game class, how the assets are structured in Flame, and learn more about the tap events, how the low-level game API works, and all that. We will be focusing more on the tap events. Sorry, the inputs more tomorrow, hopefully. So without further ado, uh, I will be going, and I will talk to you later. Thank you very much for joining stream. Bye.